Hello again, Dominic and welcome to another video, and this one's going to be something Doctor Who related. And what I'm going to be talking about is the recent announcement of the Doctor Who spin-off class, which was cancelled a few days ago. And I was going to share my, views and opinions on it. Now, I know I did this yesterday as my character, my character Alex Francis, with the sketches and stuff. But originally I was going to do this video of me, myself, Dominic Trophy, sharing my views about it. I hope you do enjoy it. And if you wonder about my t-shirt, it's just the Dreamcast logo. Because obviously today is the 18th birthday of the Sega Dreamcast in the United States today. So whether or not you're from America or not, and hope you all have a great day playing Sega and playing Dreamcast. Whatever you play, Sonic Adventure, Choo Choo Rocket, Jet Set Radio, whatever happens, hope you all have a good day. So, that was just a quick point, that's all. So anyway, obviously a few days ago, I think like near 2 days ago, sorry, we actually got the announcement of the Doctor Who spin-off class being cancelled. And my thoughts about it is, it was kind of a shame that they did cancel it. Now, there was a rumour going around about near 6 months ago, many months ago, about class being rumoured to be cancelled. And originally I was going to do that video, but I never did because I wanted to wait and see what would happen. And there were all sorts of rumours about Series 2 and all that sort of stuff. As well as the writer Patrick, or something Ness, is it? I think that's what he called, I don't know. He actually left after Series 1 and he stated that they might get someone to do Series 2. And obviously it's not going to happen now. Now, the series of it, I think, was very interesting for what they did. I still stand for what I said last year, that it's sort of a Hollyoaks meets Doctor Who crossover. That's just how it feels to me. Because obviously you've got like the whole setting in the Doctor Who universe, but you've also got about, the lives of the teenagers and, young adults and stuff, with all what they do and stuff, with, their, college life, friends, relationships, parents, all that sort of stuff. And I think that's just how it feels to me and stuff. And it was different. I think the first episode, to me, was really good. I think because it had the Doctor in it. And I think that's just what made it a lot more interesting, I think, than the rest of it. I know it sounds bad to say that. But, you know what I mean? I think it was a shame of what happened. I really do. If anyone's wondering, what do I think the problem that caused it? Well, one of them, I would say, a lack of advertising. Because the BBC didn't really or even BBC 3, didn't really advertise a lot from, for the programme. Because when it first started, it was online. It was online, you know what I mean? And with that, a lot of people probably didn't even know that it was on, or they didn't know that it existed, you know what I mean? Because that sort of programs people prefer to watch on television. I know in this day and age and stuff, in 2017, the internet has grown so much in this past decade and a half that a lot of people mostly watch stuff online. You know what I mean? People don't really watch stuff on television. But there's still a good amount of people that like to watch stuff on television. You know what I mean? And that was the thing about it, because it was stated by the BBC Three controller that they said, well, it really wasn't for us, to do afterwards, you know what I mean? It wasn't for us. Which kind of makes you think, well, if it wasn't for you, why did you start it? You know what I mean? But would I have loved to have seen a second series? Honestly, I think I would have loved to have seen a second series. Because I was actually talking to a friend of mine about this yesterday, and he said, would you have loved to have seen a series 2? And he said, yes, I would have loved to have seen one. He said, Series 1 was really good, and I think Series 2 could have been a great series, I think, if they actually did do it, you know what I mean? And I think one thing that would have helped it is the duration of time for the main Doctor Who series, because Series 11 is supposed to be airing autumn next year. So that's going to be like near 9 to 10 months, depending on when it airs, which would have kept, fans of the programme, but would have also kept interest with the spin-off alive, you know what I mean? And I think that's just the way it goes, you know what I mean? I think if they concentrated on that, it would have made it interesting. But it's quite a sad, bit of a bad thing, because one of the things is, why did they air it online first? Now, it did air on television beginning this year, but what they should have done was that they should have aired it on television. You know what I mean? Because obviously you would have got a lot more ratings, whereas, for example, an online program doesn't do that. You know what I mean? Which kind of hurts it. You know what I mean? You could see it's like Doctor Who Scream of the Shalk, which was the 2003 animated story, which was done almost near 14 years ago. When I watched that, I think it was a good story, but the problem with it was it aired online during a time where computers and the internet wasn't a sufficient place. You know what I mean? That wasn't, like, streaming back then was never heard of. You know what I mean? But I do give them credit for doing that. You know what I mean? That group of people. So I understand back then that it wasn't feasible. You know what I mean? But they still did it. You know what I mean? With that, it would have been nice to air it on television, because not everyone had a computer and had internet at that point. You know what I mean? So that would have been great to have aired it on television. Nowadays, you know, maybe, but I think a lot of people still want to be given that choice of, do you want to watch it online, or do you want to watch it on television when it airs? You know what I mean? And I think that's a bit of a problem with it. You know what I mean? I think if the BBC Three, you know, branded it, advertised the heck out of it, more people would have watched it. You know what I mean? Could there still be series 2? Maybe if the BBC and BBC Three as well have interest. But I think if they gain more interest, air it online. Air it on television. You know what I mean? Air it on television first, and then air it online. Maybe the following day. You know what I mean? So give people the choice. You know what I mean? Do not eliminate, choices. And it would have made it a lot more interesting if they advertised it. You know what I mean? But it's worse because they left it on a cliffhanger, which cliffhangers I do not like. You know what I mean? And it makes, when this news came out a few days ago, it made me think of the recent news of Half-Life 2 Episode 3, which was a game that was supposed to have released over near 10 years ago, and the writer just leaked it online as a blog, and gave people, you know, the plot to Episode 3. And there was a lot of happiness, but there was a lot of disappointment, because they knew basically this game was not going to come out. Imagine waiting 10 years for something, you know what I mean? Like, the next part to a story, that is crazy, you know what I mean, to wait 10 years. I know Shenmue had the same thing, but it's not a good thing, and this is what worries me with a lot of these programs. Especially after you end it after one series, you know what I mean? That it makes it pointless to watch, you know what I mean? But I'm not saying that in a bad way, you know what I mean? But honestly, if someone asks me, Dominic, you know that program class, they had the one series, is it worth watching? Honestly, I'd say yes, it is worth watching, even though it ends on a cliffhanger. If you don't like cliffhangers, stay away from it. But if you are interested in watching it, go ahead and watch it. Like, I can't speak for everyone, you know what I mean? I can speak for myself. If you have interest in it, watch it. If you don't, just don't watch it, you know what I mean? Could we see another spin-off of Doctor Who? I know that Torchwood has come back with Series 5. But do we need another spin-off series? I don't know. I'd love to see one. People have said for a while they'd love to see like an 8th Doctor spin-off series, which needs to happen. You know what I mean? That really would be great to see happen. And I think, honestly, it will not only, get high ratings from the current fan, for the older fans of Doctor Who, it will also it will also make it a lot more interesting for new audiences who have never experienced the 8th Doctor. Because honestly, he had a lot of potential. You know, I mean, I've seen that film, I saw that about near 5 years ago, and it's a great, great film. Sorry, no, back in 2010 it was. It's a great film, you know what I mean? And I would have loved to have seen more. I know with The Night of the Doctor, there's still potential. There's still time to have it happen, you know what I mean, BBC, but I don't know, you know what I mean? Would have loved to see another spin-off. It'd be interesting to see what it would be, you know what I mean? So yeah, kind of a sad day for Class fans of, you know, Doctor Who fans of Class, but there's nothing we can do about it. I would love to see a series 2. Do I have hope? Pretty much not, you know what I mean? But yeah. And as the old saying goes, you know, class dismissed. That's what it does. But anyway, apart from that, I just want to say thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. And I'll be doing another one very shortly. Yes, you'll be getting 2 videos today, on Saturday. And my next one will be a bit of an update video for the channel. So I just want to say thank you very much for watching. And I hope you catch your video shortly. See you later. Bye.